So, ladies and gentlemen, what's the greatest comment by any former NHL player about hockey? We all know it and learn it, live it, love it. Never underestimate your opponent. Who said that? Ken Dryden. Why did he say it? Well, he didn't. He was underestimated in 71 against Boston, playing for Montreal. Montreal won. 72, he played for Team Canada when they underestimated the Russians, and the Russians almost beat us in the Summit Series. The 2023 Boston Bruins lost in 7 games to Florida, a very strong team, after the most successful season for victories in NHL history. But they weren't as good as the 1970s Habs, the 1980 Oilers or Islanders, the Red Wings and Devils dynasty. No. Boston went into the playoffs overrating themselves. Let's do some revisionist history revised. Boston won 65 games in an 82-game season. They lost 17. Montreal team in 77, which is the greatest ever, only lost 8 games. 1 game after Christmas. Montreal won 12 games in the playoffs, lost 2 in the postseason, 72 victories, 10 losses total. If Montreal would have played the 12 games he tied in overtime, they would have won another 6 or 7. So you're looking at 67 victories in an 80-game season. I watched Boston in the playoffs against Florida. Mechanical, old, only one really goal scorer, Marchand, Bergeron, getting a little old in the tooth. They played like the Boston Bruins, waiting for something to happen. Their goaltending, although not porous, wasn't totally exciting. You don't give up 3 straight games, 2 at home, against a team like Florida and not say shocked, but disappointed. Did Boston deserve to win the regular season? Sure. But regular season means nothing in the NHL playoffs. The NHL playoffs are the only playoffs where 7 games, anything can happen. We've seen playoff contenders become Stanley Cup champs. Montreal Canadiens in 86 and 93. A lot of people felt they had no chance. Other teams have done well as well. But teams involving Mary Lemieux, teams involving Messier, teams involving Gretzky have lost their mind in the playoffs. Now, this opens up a very interesting scenario because as the universe is unfolding, the winner of Toronto, Florida could go all the way to the Cup. This has nothing to do with Toronto curse and all that. Toronto got a good team. But the fact is, Boston didn't have enough leaders to win. A bunch of spear carriers. You look at the stats for Boston this year. You only had 3 or 4 players besides your top goal scorer that had more than 20 goals. You don't win like that. You're going to have 4 lines rolling all the time. The Montreal Canadiens had Risebrough, Tremblay, Lambert. They had, all the good second and third line players that were doing it for them. Gainey as well. Now, Boston's going to have to reject. I'd fire the whole coaching staff. And the head coach of Boston should know better. Why don't you click on his background as a player and you see what I mean? Like what he's done with his career. He should know how to win. Boston media is just like the Montreal and Toronto media. They overrate. So as it stands right now, is this the biggest hockey disgrace ever? No, because next year they're probably going to have a bigger disgrace, either 65 losses or another crowned Stanley Cup champion before they're being crowned. The media in the States likes to crown a Stanley Cup champion. Well, the media in Canada, we say, wait for the playoffs. That's a mantra as well in Canada. When a team is doing well, wait for the playoffs. Toronto's a sign of that. Toronto never won one playoff series in 20 years until they bet old man Tampa Bay. That's the team I call them. They're not Tampa Bay, they're old man Tampa Bay in 6 games. And they had overtime to do it. So ladies and gentlemen, if you like what we're doing here, we're a podcast channel. Let us know with a like, comment, subscribe, or share. And as for the Bruins fans, well, you deserve what you get. You underestimated your opponent. That's what happens. Thanks for listening. Bye.